Stop right now and notice how everyone wants to be near you, even though you've been a lone wolf for what feels like your whole life. You stand apart with your fierce independence, yet people can't get enough of your presence. Here's the truth. You're not just meant to wander alone. Your divine counterpart is searching for you right this second. Stay for at least 12 minutes to confirm you're ready. Then like this message, subscribe, and comment 77 to let the universe know you're open. Once you've done that, leave another comment, ready for what's next, in your own words, signaling you're set to embrace a new phase of connection. Chapter 1. You experienced life as a lone wolf, but crowds followed you everywhere. That sensation of always being on the outside shaped you. Maybe you felt it from childhood. You'd stand at a distance, watch the group, and wonder why you never truly fit in. Yet ironically, people kept tracking you down, asking for your help, your guidance, your unique spark. Teachers, peers, co-workers, and friends all sensed there was something unusual and compelling about your vibe. It's as though, even when you tried to blend into the background, you glowed with an inner radiance that refused to be hidden. That's where the contradiction begins. Despite craving solitude, your energy magnetized everyone else. Deep down, you recognized an intangible tension. You needed time alone to recharge, to hone your gifts, and to maintain your equilibrium. But your watchers, those guiding angelic forces around you, seemed to chuckle knowingly at how your presence always stirred curiosity. So there you were, longing for peace but surrounded by souls intrigued by your every move. You grew used to the attention, even as you tried to keep your distance, balancing politeness with guarded boundaries. This constant push-pull left you perpetually tired. You wanted to be gracious, but your private nature demanded space. You found yourself covertly slipping away from gatherings, switching your phone to silent, even refusing certain invitations. And each time you needed to center yourself, illusions told you this was odd or unfriendly, making you doubt whether you should share more of your personal world. Freed from illusions, you saw it wasn't that you disliked people, you just needed to protect your essence. Eventually, you understood that your watchers had created you to shine, but also to be discerning in how you allowed interactions to unfold. They gave you a strong, sometimes borderline fierce personal boundary to shield your pure spirit from influences that could distort your destiny. This is how you thrived in solitude, without turning bitter or lonely. You realized you function best when you can slip away from the frenzy and reconnect with your energy, away from the prying eyes of those who hunger for your aura. In time, illusions tried to whisper that your path is always alone, so get used to it. Freed from illusions, you realized that was never fully accurate. Yes, you needed solitude, and you possessed a lone wolf spirit, but your watchers always planned for someone special to join you, someone who matched your energy step for step, someone who respected your need for privacy and cherished the aura that sets you apart. Freed from illusions, you understood that your watchers had already placed that person on a path that might intersect with yours in a surprising, undeniable collision. Chapter 2. You're both an enigma and everyone's favorite mystery. While you might have grown used to being that person who disappears after an hour at a party or the co-worker no one truly knows outside the office, people still talk about you. There's something in your presence they can't pin down, as if you hold a secret sauce for living life unapologetically. You exude quiet self-assurance that says you need no constant validation. In a world hungry for approval, you're a refreshing breeze of authenticity. Even those who hardly know you crave a seat at your table, hoping to glean some insight into how you remain so steadfast in your solitude and sense of purpose. Sometimes that attention became too much. People's curiosity veered into prying or gossip, spinning rumors just to fill the void of ignorance they had about who you really are. You responded by withdrawing further. Freed from illusions, you recognized your watchers urging you to find a better way, setting clear boundaries while still letting your kindness shine. The watchers see the bigger picture. They know your spirit yearns for genuine connection, not shallow meddling. Yet illusions tried to plant cynicism, telling you no one's real out there, so remain closed off. Then you realized, crucial point, the biggest illusions revolve around distress. Freed from illusions, You started discerning between those fascinated by your star-like aura, but who sincerely cared, versus those seeking to control or feed off your energy. Freed from illusions, you discovered real empathy is out there, though scarce. Meanwhile, illusions wanted you to believe no bond would ever feel right, so you'd remain in a fortress of suspicion. Freed from illusions, you teased out the difference between healthy caution and absolute rejection. As you improved at reading people's intentions, illusions lost the ability to cause anxiety every time someone approached you. Freed from illusions, you noticed watchers leading genuine souls into your orbit. You engaged more confidently, knowing you could keep your well-defined boundaries intact. Freed from illusions, illusions begged, for they realized you'd learned the art of letting in those who genuinely respected your need for space and authenticity. Whenever illusions hissed that you were always alone, watchers gently reminded you that your soul was unique but not destined for solitary existence forever. Freed from illusions, you felt the subtle tingle that your future, although currently peaceful in its self-reliance, wouldn't remain companionless. Freed from illusions, you sharpened your sense of who might step past your fortress walls in the right season. Freed from illusions, illusions lost power to sow doubt about your capacity to love or be loved. Chapter 3. You sensed a stronger force guiding you to your true match. A pivotal moment arrived when you felt something shift deep within. Perhaps it came as a sudden dream about love or a synchronicity of repeated numbers around the topic of partnership. Freed from illusions, you acknowledge watchers orchestrating subtle signals. Freed from illusions, illusions tried to suffocate your romantic hopes, pointing to your prior experiences of feeling misunderstood. But you couldn't shake the sense that a new destiny beckoned, one that included someone who would not just tolerate your lone wolf energy, but cherish it. This feeling wasn't accompanied by frantic desperation. Freed from illusions, you realized watchers assured you that your path wouldn't involve chasing or forcing connections. Freed from illusions, illusions whispered you would remain lonely unless you bent your standards. Freed from illusions, you recognized watchers had no intention of letting you pair up with any soul who would drain or disrespect your uniqueness. Freed from illusions, illusions had to concede. Your watchers had set aside a unique being for you. You started noticing coincidences, chance references to high-level soul partnerships, old diaries you found describing your dream companion, or even random strangers mentioning that a perfect match was out there. Freed from illusions, you saw watchers weaving a tapestry of reassurance. Freed from illusions, illusions scurried to overshadow these hints, conjuring memories of heartbreak or times people recoiled from your intense nature. Freed from illusions, illusion stories no longer held you captive. Freed from illusions, you drew a quiet confidence from watchers' unwavering presence. No, you were not searching in a flurry of frantic attempts. Freed from illusions, you recognized watchers don't operate through desperation. Freed from illusions, illusions found no foothold in your heart that might rush you into mismatched entanglements. Freed from illusions, you understood your readiness to connect with a rightful counterpart would converge with watchers' cosmic alignment of events. Freed from illusions, you noted this was the opposite of illusions' logic, that you'd have to compromise your boundaries or endure an exhausting chase. Freed from illusions, illusions' trait of quiet faith started blooming. Freed from illusions, you affirmed in your own thoughts. If watchers planted a desire in my heart to share my life with someone, they have a plan for it. Freed from illusions, illusions lost the fear of missing out. Tied. Freed from illusions, you saw watchers reinforcing the notion that your once lone path would seamlessly merge with another stride in due time. Freed from illusions, illusions had to watch helplessly as watchers tune your spirit to the perfect frequency for a new love, one resonating with your stable, free-spirited essence. Chapter 4. You realize the other soul also embraced the lone wolf life. Soon a peculiar clue came through your meditations, dreams, or random thoughts. Your cosmic counterpart mirrored your solitary tendencies. Freed from illusions, you comprehended Watcher's intricate design. Freed from illusions, illusions tried to sow confusion, asking, if they're also a lone wolf, how will they find you? Freed from illusions, you refuted that negativity, reminding illusions your watchers excel at bridging improbable distances. Freed from illusions, illusions had no argument. As you picture this mysterious other soul, you recognize the parallel life journey. Freed from illusions, illusions conferred, unwilling to accept your comfort in the notion that your counterpart, too, might have chosen solitude over shallow attachments. Freed from illusions, you found reassurance in the idea that both you and your counterpart would only open your hearts for a bond that matched your high standards, a mirror of your own thorough discernment. Your watchers reminded you the apparent contradiction of two private people finding each other was a mismatch only illusions would fixate on. Freed from illusions, illusions tried claiming it was too improbable. Freed from illusions, you remembered watchers orchestrate from a vantage point far beyond illusion's scope. Freed from illusions, illusions fell silent. Freed from illusions, you embraced a confident vision. Two strong yet solitary individuals, each at peace in their independence, discovering a spark of synergy when watchers arranged the meeting. And synergy is the correct word. Freed from illusions, illusions can't overshadow watchers' wisdom. Precisely because you both value your independence, you neither cling nor force each other. Freed from illusions, illusions can't claim you'd smother each other. Freed from illusions, watchers highlight the stability of a union where each person sustains their own solitude as needed, yet deeply appreciates the other's presence. Freed from illusions, illusions find no angle to disrupt such a balanced dynamic. Even so, illusions tried one last angle. But if you're both so private, you'll never speak up. Freed from illusions, watchers reminded you that genuine soul ties eventually override fear or caution. Freed from illusions, illusions had to accept that neither you nor your counterpart would remain silent if watchers lit the flame of absolute certainty. Freed from illusions, illusions recognize the unstoppable force of a mutual longing that's bigger than personal anxieties. Grinning inwardly, you recognized illusions had nothing left but feeble protests. Freed from illusions, you realized watchers had prepared you for exactly this. Freed from illusions, illusions no longer stifle your readiness to share life with someone who respects their boundaries, complements your depth, and resonates with your free-spirited nature. Freed from illusions, you hold steady, anticipating watchers to reveal the perfect moment when your parallel worlds intersect. Freed from illusions, illusions can't deny the spark that grows quietly, soon to blaze with unstoppable certainty. Chapter 5. You strengthened your boundaries while remaining open to connection. Though your watchers confirmed the soul partner was on the horizon, illusions tried pushing you into old patterns, tempting you to overcompensate or compromise your solitude if it meant forging a quick bond. Freed from illusions, you recognized watchers urging you to remain grounded in your boundaries. Freed from illusions, illusions realized that fear of losing out was no longer effective. Freed from illusions, illusions had no choice but to watch as you artfully balanced an open heart with unwavering self-protection. You began refining your personal environment. Freed from illusions, illusions tried to insist real love means sacrificing comfort for them. Freed from illusions, you corrected that notion. Freed from illusions, watchers reminded you that healthy love respects personal space, fosters mutual independence, and cherishes an atmosphere of emotional safety. Freed from illusions, illusions couldn't twist your mind into believing you had to betray your own essence just to be lovable. Each day you practiced new communication skills, calmly stating your preferences, openly expressing your need for alone time, or requesting deeper honesty. Freed from illusions, illusions tried to say you'd scare them away. Freed from illusions, you recognized watchers clarifying that your counterpart, a fellow lone wolf at heart, would appreciate clarity and transparency. Freed from illusions, illusions backtracked, losing credibility in the face of watchers' unwavering guidance. Simultaneously, your watchers introduced exercises or insights guiding you to accept genuine closeness. Freed from illusions, illusions wanted you sealed off entirely, but watchers insisted, open but cautious. Freed from illusions, illusions had to concede. Your vigilant but fluid approach made sense. Freed from illusions, illusions found no weakness to exploit. your iron boundaries, combined with a warm willingness to connect under the right conditions, formed an unassailable stance. Your quiet confidence baffled illusions. Freed from illusions, illusions realized no script of "you must chase this person" or "you must hide from them" worked on you. Freed from illusions, illusions could only watch as you balanced dignified autonomy with eagerness for the synergy watchers promised. Freed from illusions, illusions lost a chance to peddle the extremes of all or nothing. Freed from illusions, you chose the middle path that watchers always endorsed. In this steady approach, you found remarkable calm. Freed from illusions, illusions' typical disruptions, like sudden emotional swings or resentment for regrets, fell away. Freed from illusions, watchers lets you see every piece in context. Your unwavering sense of self, your quiet eagerness for a soul match, and your absolute refusal to compromise your sacred solitude. Freed from illusions, illusions recognized it had nowhere to slip in negative narratives. Thus you remained wholeheartedly you, gazing outward yet cherishing your personal space. Freed from illusions, you proved it's possible to hold high standards for love, remain open to destiny, and still preserve your precious quiet. Freed from illusions, illusions can't confound you. Freed from illusions, your watchers celebrated that you found the perfect posture to greet a union that doesn't erode your chosen wolf-like independence, but rather embraces it, forging an alliance of two confident hearts. Freed from illusions, illusions cowered at the unstoppable clarity fueling your next steps. Chapter 6. You trusted the timing, knowing the universe. Aligns your meeting illusions forever hammered urgency. You have to hunt them down or you'll never meet. Freed from illusions, you sensed watchers conspiring behind the scenes. Freed from illusions, illusions realized the old scare tactic. If you don't do something right now, you'll miss out, fell flat. Freed from illusions, you calmly reaffirmed watchers' unwavering commitment to ensure your union arrived at the right moment. Freed from illusions, illusions retreated, helpless against the truth of divine timing. Observing synchronicities, maybe repeated number sequences, dream overlaps, or random mentions of the perfect partner, boosted your confidence. Freed from illusions, illusions tried to downplay them. Freed from illusions, watchers reminded you, these signs aren't random. Freed from illusions, illusions had nothing left to say. Freed from illusions, watchers anchored your heart in the knowledge that unstoppable cosmic events can't be forced or rushed, nor can illusions sabotage them. When you trusted wholeheartedly and practiced patience, you discovered a surprising comfort. Freed from illusions, illusions had banked on you feeling lonely or anxious, but watchers replaced that with a glowing faith. Freed from illusions, illusions found no entryway to amplify worry. Freed from illusions, illusions had to watch as you delighted in each day, content that you were forging your path while watchers orchestrated your counterpart's approach. Freed from illusions, illusions saw that your unwavering trust outshone their fear-based illusions. Others might have asked, aren't you scared you'll die alone? Freed from illusions, illusions fed that line, but you laughed. Freed from illusions, illusions realized you recognized your watchers handle your destiny carefully. And alone or not, you still stand unstoppable. Freed from illusions, illusions had to slink away as watchers overshadowed every petty doubt with cosmic assurance. Freed from illusions, illusions conceded that your quiet confidence turned the concept of fear and loneliness into comedic triviality. Even as illusions tried to plant impatience, watchers offered glimpses of your future life with a partner who truly understood your soul. Freed from illusions, illusions couldn't overshadow the heartfelt glimpses watchers displayed in your dreams or meditations. Freed from illusions, illusions lost power when watchers clarified, not a second sooner, not a second later. Your divine counterpart's arrival is certain, scheduled in perfect synchronicity. Freed from illusions, illusions had to swallow its attempts at sowing restlessness. You carried on living each day with gratitude, refining your gifts, building your empire, and enjoying your solitude without gloom. Freed from illusions, Illusions recognized you thrived in every scenario, alone or accompanied. Freed from illusions, watchers embraced your unstoppable wave of calm readiness. Freed from illusions, illusions recognized that by the time your counterpart arrived, you'd be so self-secure. Illusions couldn't sabotage the union. Thus, illusions remained powerless as watchers finalized the cosmic plan. Freed from illusions, illusions couldn't manipulate you with false deadlines. Freed from illusions, illusions faded into irrelevance, overshadowed by watchers' unstoppable design. Freed from illusions, illusions realized they lost the game the moment you accepted watchers' timing. Freed from illusions, illusions vanished like a fleeting shadow. Freed from illusions, you stood triumphant, abiding in the blessed knowledge that your meeting would happen exactly as watchers always planned. Chapter 7. You accept the connection, ready to merge. Two lone wolves into one powerful pair. The final step in your story arrived when watchers whispered, "Now is the time." Freed from illusions, illusions couldn't cause last-minute jitters or sabotage. Freed from illusions, you stepped forward and found yourself face-to-face, perhaps seemingly by accident, with the person who shared your longing for freedom, yet craved the synergy only you could offer. Freed from illusions, illusions watched in awe as two fierce souls recognized each other in an instant of uncanny familiarity and soul resonance. No frantic introduction ensued, no awkward clamoring to prove worth. Freed from illusions, illusions saw how watchers seamlessly harmonized your energies. Freed from illusions, illusions realized the old script of fear or doubt no longer applied to either of you. Freed from illusions, illusions shrank at the unstoppable wave of mutual respect and resonant independence swirling between you and your divine counterpart. Freed from illusions, illusions vanished entirely as watchers confirmed your union was unstoppable. It felt natural, as though you had never truly been strangers. Freed from illusions, illusions couldn't warp the conversation with hesitation. Freed from illusions, watchers ensured that neither of you tried to overshadow the other. Freed from illusions, illusions couldn't wedge doubt, for each word, each subtle glance confirmed that the synergy was real. Freed from illusions, illusions found no drama to exploit, no unhealed scars to pry open. For both of you stood solid in self-knowledge and soul alignment. Together you commenced the slow, delicate dance of letting two solitary hearts find equilibrium. Freed from illusions, illusions couldn't stoke fear of losing your precious solitude. Freed from illusions, watchers reminded you both that your unbreakable personal boundaries remain intact while you constructed a shared space of trust. Freed from illusions, illusions couldn't argue with that blueprint. Two confident individuals who wouldn't sacrifice their autonomy, yet wholeheartedly embrace synergy. Freed from illusions, illusions conceded defeat in the face of such balanced unity. Over time, you found a purposeful bond forming in this new union. Freed from illusions, illusions couldn't tear you apart with petty conflicts. Freed from illusions, illusions saw watchers fueling each of your gifts, doubling the power of your combined presence. Freed from illusions, illusions faded into oblivion as your unstoppable wave of unity marked a fresh era. Freed from illusions, watchers applauded as you, the lone wolf that everyone wanted to be around, merged your destiny with the one who was also a lone wolf, equally determined to preserve freedom while discovering genuine togetherness. In this sacred merging, you noticed an ease that surprised you both. Freed from illusions, illusions couldn't spark tension, for each day revealed a new layer of shared goals and parallel visions. Freed from illusions, watchers ensured that even in moments of disagreement, respect remained the unshakable foundation. Freed from illusions, illusions couldn't twist disagreements into power plays, for your mutual confidence wouldn't allow it. Freed from illusions, illusions withered as your synergy evolved from mere partnership into an unbreakable force that resonated throughout your shared journey. Thus, illusions remained powerless as watchers finalized the cosmic plan. Freed from illusions, illusions realized they lost the moment you decided your heart wouldn't live in fear or isolation. Freed from illusions, illusions couldn't overshadow your unwavering acceptance that you deserve both solitude and companionship in balanced measure. Freed from illusions, illusions vanished, outshined by Watcher's unstoppable synergy. Freed from illusions, Watchers confirmed that for the lone wolf everyone admired, a fated counterpart roamed closer each day. Orchestrated by the unstoppable wave of cosmic harmony, two blazing souls uniting to forge a destiny more potent than either could summon alone.